All right, Nancy Weems, first across the line this evening. Good to see you here, Jeremy Sather. Great to be in the house tonight, Wednesday night hump day. Cannonball Chronicles looking to get you over the hump. Start looking towards that weekend and maybe in some parts of this country, some riding. Oh my goodness. Medford, Mass in the house. Tony Tello. Matthew Travis, good to see you. Everybody from Choppertown, man, thanks for tuning in. I'm Chris the Engineer, going to be taking you through the next hour of old motorcycle entertainment and the riders that race the greatest race on two wheels ever. 5 minutes out from going live with the Cannonball Chronicles. Don't go anywhere. Make sure you hit the like and share button. Help us get this thing out there so your friends and neighbors know we're going live with the Motorcycle Cannonball Chronicles. Just 3 minutes out from going live. You know what's one of the greatest things, man? It's like ever since COVID set in and we all got hip to this technology, we spend so much time with each other. Like I'm watching everybody saying hi to each other back and forth, and it's like getting together for real with a group of people that you know every Wednesday here at the Cannonball Chronicles, and we appreciate it. Appreciate you guys being here for us and interested in the stuff that we're doing, helping us share this across the motorcycle universe. Cannonball, great show tonight, man. Stick around. Butts, I know that name. Chicago Fire is on. I'll try to watch later. Jim Barnes, good for you to check in anyway, man. Hey, look, so I was kind of too stupid to get the countdown clock going on time tonight, so we're going to get this one out of the shed and up onto the road. Go live with this week's installment of the Motorcycle Cannonball Chronicles. Here we go.
Hey, Cannonball Nation. Who always says that? Jason Sims always says that. So what's going wrong here? No Jason Sims tonight. What happened? Boo. Jason is feeling a little under the weather. So I've taken the reins and I've called in the A team to come and help us out tonight. And we have a great show for you regardless. And let's hope Jason's back with us next week. He's just not feeling too good tonight. So he's going to take the night off. We all wish him well. And I'd like to bring in my co-host for this evening, the very special co-host, Christine Summer-Simmons.
Hey, Cannonball Nation. Oh, wait, that's Jason's. Yeah, I'm sorry that Jason's not feeling well, but I'm happy to be here with you guys. And hi, Rob. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Yeah. You had a great show last night with Jody and Michael. Very exciting. Very exciting. A lot of great stuff last night. And so we really appreciate you taking tonight too and coming and joining us here.
Well, thank you. Jody's an inspiration and I just adore her. And it just makes me miss everybody when you come on and see all your friends and look at everybody that signed in today and everybody saying hi to everybody else. Like,
yeah, we got a nice group out there. I got my wife. My wife is watching tonight. So hi, Beth. Yeah. How you doing, honey? I love you. Brian Bellatier, Tom Banks, Nancy Weems, as usual. I don't see David Crum yet, but I suspect he's either here or will be here.
Right.
And
I see you got Gumby in your pocket.
Gumby was bugging me. He says, if Chris is going to be, better be on the show. So
wait, I have one too. So how did that happen? How could he be everywhere?
I don't know. You have the dirty Gumby or the clean Gumby?
I have the dirty Gumby with the oil on him from the 2018 Cannonball.
I'm here, damn it.
I think this is the one that
I'm on the show, damn it.
You and Dave tortured. You took him, Plumber Dave, my crew chief. You guys took him in all the weird places and sent me pictures of you doing weird stuff with him the whole week.
We had some Mr. Bill moments with Gumby in 2018. We put him in some very precarious positions. So
yes, he was never the same when he came.
What have you been up to? You working on anything out there or what?
Pat was working on his tractor today. Yeah, it's a blustery 68 degrees today. Oh, I'm so sorry to tell you that, but
you had to shovel out some partly cloudy. Is that what you're telling me?
I had to shovel out some wet leaves.
Wet leaves. And any rainbows? Do you ever get rainbows out there in Maui?
Rob, you know we do. Rainbows and Mai Tais, right?
Mai Tais. Yes. Excellent Mai Tais. Yeah.
Yes, they're very good. You can even drink 2 or 3, Rob. Did you know that?
I don't know if you can drink 3. Can you have 2 beers, Chris? That's what I want to know.
Yes, I can. I can have 3 even.
I have not seen that yet, but
oh, come on. You haven't really? Oh,
no, not 3. Not 3. I've seen 2.
Okay. Well, we'll have to wait for that one. Definitely. Next time we're together.
And Pat's working on the Indian yet?
Yeah, working on the Indian. Doing stuff with that. I worked on a merry-go-round motorcycle, one of those Leonard's ones we have for our grandson.
Right.
Got him down there and working on that. They got a little windshield for it now. It looks really cute. So we've been working on a little bit of bike stuff, family stuff,
cool.
You know, being home stuff like everybody else. But dreaming about the Cannonball and, you know, thinking about the memories that we've made and the people that we miss.
Beth says it's almost a year since I Mai Tai'd one on with Pat.
You guys sure did. That's why I'm talking about.
You took the keys.
Yeah, you guys were like the last people to visit us in March of last year before all this stuff hit.
I can't believe it's almost a year already, you know.
I know. Thank goodness you guys got that vacation you were able to go home too, because you might have got stuck here, right?
It was a distinct possibility. People were going, you're going to be able to go home to the United States? I said, I'm in the United States.
Yeah, I know. People say that. I've never been to the United States. Hawaii is a state, okay? I have to tell you, it's a state. Yeah. And I see my friend Robert Benitez on there right now watching from Maui too. A lot of people from Maui watch this show actually too. It's kind of fun.
Beth says that was the last fun we had.
Oh, don't say that, Beth. You've been home with your husband for almost a year now. How much more fun is that?
That's exactly why that was the last fun we had.
I didn't hear the sound effects on that one. I was waiting to hear that.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Nice. Well, I'm so happy to be on the Cannonball show with you because it's one of my favorite things of my life that I've ever done. So,
and I'm so grateful that you brought me into that crowd and let me experience it in 2018. We had a great time.
I can't believe we haven't had a Cannonball since 2018, and that seems
it's
like
crazy, right?
Yeah.
So for the people who don't know, who are tuning in for the first time, I can't imagine there's anybody tuning in for the first time, but for the people who don't know, the Cannonball is an antique motorcycle event with bikes from 1929 and earlier, meaning nothing newer than 1929, and typically goes coast to coast. This year, it's going to go from Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan to South Padre Island, Texas. So it's going to be more of a north-south route, but Jason assures us it's going to be every bit as grueling as any previous Cannonball event.
It sounds like it. I know that we did the chase last year from that same starting point, and going over that Mackinac Bridge was pretty crazy. In the rain and the wind, going over that grate was pretty slippery.
So describe the bridge to the viewers.
Well, it was okay because if you can stay in the right lane, which is actually paved, you'd be okay. They did put us up on the grate side, which is graded. Maybe the last. Maybe 1/8 of a mile. It wasn't that much, but it was wet and it was slippery. And then it's really tall. I forget how tall it is, but it's like 5 miles long, I think. But it's so tall that a car actually blew off of it years ago. Some Volkswagen, the wind blew it right off this bridge. So it's kind of a frightening bridge. And that, I rode my 34 VL. It wasn't so bad because the tires weren't as thin as, like my 15 has the narrower tire. It would be a little more scary on there, but it was okay. I was glad to get off of it. Let's put it that way. Yeah. So
and
Michigan is beautiful place to ride.
It's a steel deck bridge and it's open, right? You can see down through it.
Yes, you can. You can see the white caps on the waves under there. Yeah, you don't want to look down. Yeah,
and there were white caps too, right?
There were, and actually, the day we were doing it, they had a tractor group coming from the other side. So all these vintage antique, there it is. Yeah, So that's going to be a fun start for some of these people who haven't been over the big bridge. They actually have a service. If you don't want to drive your car over it, they will drive it for you. It's crazy. I mean, we can't do that on our bikes, actually, obviously. But they'll drive it for you. But,
Chris has a shot of the steel deck.
Yeah, and the steel part, they normally, like I said, the right lane is paved. It's the left lane that's graded the whole way. And they were doing construction on the bridge. They start in September, so it just depends on what day you get there, if it's going to be open to the right lane or the left lane.
Right. So, and so the tractor parade, there were so many tractors that went the length of the bridge and more.
Yep.
It was pretty interesting.
Oh yeah, all these are old and they're waving to us and we're waving to them. And it was just kind of one of those moments that you don't forget.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It was pretty cool.
That's a great spot. Well, you drove me up there to the start of the chase, so you know the area. We did that drive.
Yeah, we talked about biker girls and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, no one was safe. Is that what you do when you ride?
No one's safe tour. Yes, exactly.
You and Cole do that one, right?
Yeah, well, while we're Blue Dot traveling, we do the Nobody Safe tour. So,
and your brother, the mayor, was along with us.
The mayor, yes. The mayor is unbelievable.
How is the mayor? Yeah.
He's doing well. I saw him. I had to go plow his driveway out because we had 30 inches of snow here.
Oh my God! I was going to ask you. Did it melt yet?
No.
No.
Okay. No. And we're supposed to get more snow on Sunday, and the cold is supposed to really set in next week.
Yeah, I don't miss it.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah, just think about the Mai Tais. You can come back.
Oh, I would love to. I'd love to be sitting there drinking a Mai Tai right now. I'll tell you that.
We got to get Chris and Heather over here too.
Absolutely.
Definitely. Yay! You can say that. Oh, my Cannonball family. Definitely, you guys can come out.
So we have Rebecca sitting here waiting to come in, and I'd really like to bring her in. She's got a segment that we like to call 1,000 Words. So let's bring Rebecca in. There she
Hi,
is.
everybody.
Hi, how are you? It's so good to see you.
Oh, well, thank you. It's great to be here. This is my social hour for the week.
Yeah.
As it is, I think, for a lot of people. So let's see. So this week I have a video from 2016. It's one of those morning, every morning is a little bit different, but then again, they're all the same. Everybody's getting ready, last minute prep, checking the bike, trying to figure out, if there's something wrong, or where do you put your luggage, and who's doing what, where, when. And there's a I don't know, there's a kind of a comfort in it in a way, because we're all kind of struggling with the same issues. Some people are struggling a little bit more than others,
Sure.
but it's a lot of fun to just wander through and visit with everybody in the mornings, and as they're all getting their bikes ready. And so let me just get Chris to start the video and show you what I'm talking about.
No, the rear brake works, but they're down there when you're trying to ride the clutch and brake at the same time.
Yeah, he's cool. He's cool.
So you declared a rest day. Exactly. I'm declaring a rest day tomorrow. Nobody's riding. That's it. We're through. I like that. I like that.
I'm excited. He's the cool guy.
Dave, congratulations.
Oh, congratulations. You gave me one of these yesterday.
Yeah, you get one every day, you get a perfect score.
Oh, I don't know what to do with my first one.
Well, let me know, I'll get you another one.
All right, thank you. Hello.
Hello. So you just got you got 2 stickers down.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Perfect score. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, exhausting.
As you can see, John Newman was having a little bit of trouble starting his bike that morning. The great thing about Cannonball is normally there's at least one person around who is willing to give the bikes a push. I feel kind of bad for the guys when they break down on the side of the road and they're by themselves and it's uphill. But they all seem to make it work somehow anyway.
I love that morning adrenaline. I don't love it when I'm doing it, but I love it when I see it now because I feel it. just watching everybody get ready because you want your bike to start. Number one, if your bike doesn't start, you're like, oh my god, and then you start out stressed out, right? So
Yeah. Yeah.
Chris,
Yeah,
is there anything? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Rebecca.
No, go ahead.
Is there anything do these all kind of run together for you, Chris, or is it like when you see, does that tell you where you are? Or I mean, I know it's a hotel, but does it bring back any certain memory for you?
I've done 4 of them, so they kind of do run together. You remember certain places, and usually it's you remember it because you broke down. I hate to say it, something happened, or
Right.
or you remember something that was really beautiful or something really fun. You remember those, but do you remember, where's I when that big rainstorm hit? Stuff like that. But that's Cannonball. That's the whole idea. You don't know what you're gonna get. You got to get ready for everything.
Rebecca, I like that you caught Dave Minerva. He didn't look too Minervous there, did he, Chris?
I think he was just starting out. That was like, where was that again? It was in Morgantown. No,
Yeah,
Dave
that was
like
Morgantown.
pretty early on in the ride. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dave is so fun. Dave was my riding partner in 2016 and 2018, and wonderful guy. He's Minervous. I'm Minervous. We get through it. I don't let him eat lunch. We got to get him on the show sometime, Rob. He would be fun.
Well, we've been talking to him, and we hope to get him on, and then hopefully we can get Pat Rutledge with Anthony, his father, who ran as Dave's teammate in 2016, I believe it was.
Anthony. Very knowledgeable guy.
So,
What a rider, though. He would just take off like a bat out of hell every morning, and then miss a turn, and I would just pull over and we wait. He figured it out and come back. But that's how it works. That's why you're right. It's good to ride with a team. When you have a team, you kind of look out for each other. I mean, I've done the first Cannonball I rode by myself quite a bit. In the beginning, that was pretty frightening. But having a team, looking out for each other, helping each other to navigate. And if you have a problem, you've got someone there. Maybe you have a tool you don't have, they have it. And
well, and that they do. There's the other event called the Cross Country Chase, which there's no support, which Jason also runs. And you didn't have teams, but you kind of formed relationships, right?
Yeah, I mean, what happens a lot of times on the Cannonball is you don't know a lot of the people, even on the first Cannonball. And then after a while, you hang out in gas station, you kind of see the same people. You have you kind of maybe ride the same speed. Rebecca knows, she sees this all the time.
Yeah.
So you do kind of team up unofficially. You're a team. You just kind of hang out, and then that's how I met Jim Petty in 2010. We ended up riding a couple of Cannonballs together, 2010 and 2014. And it's so great because those friendships are just forever. It's forever. You're stuck together. But yeah, the chase was totally different. I mean, we did same kind of thing. We were just kind of like, I ended up riding with Bill Page, and John Bartman and Matt Miller. I didn't really know Matt till I did some test riding with you guys up in Jersey there, and Matt came up. But what a great guy. And again, he didn't know anything about the navigating, and I was like, okay, I can help you with that. I'll teach you how to navigate and everything. So
well, that's what I mean about you weren't really teams, but you guys sort of got together and you sort of formed a team as far as riding buddies, right?
Right. Like he would help me adjust my chains, even though I knew how to do it. He'd say, no, let me do it. You help me do this. I'll help you do that. So I'm like, okay, I'll trade navigation skills. Then after a while, he got so good at navigating. I was like, oh my God, I got nothing to trade now. I just gotta hang out and ride.
Who's gonna adjust my chain?
I didn't need it.
And
my
Jody,
mechanic.
and Jody got you oil, so it was all good.
I loan people stuff too. Jason gave me a quart of oil once too. So, oh my God, I have to pay him back.
Did you give anybody Did you give anybody granola bars?
I did give granola bars away. And Michael Lichter handed me one from the bike, and I ate it while I was riding. Cannonball is amazing, and I'm so happy that they're going to try to get it to do it this year. I hope they do. They're planning. So let's hope it goes.
Hey, so Rebecca, is there anything that stands out to you in particular about this video or this particular day, or?
I remember that route was just exceptionally beautiful all through West Virginia. I mean, you just couldn't beat the ride. And it's fun to look back on these videos and see everybody. I have a great time, even though I've shot it, I've had the footage all this time, you know. I go back through these stories and think, oh yeah, that was going on, or this was going on. And there's a lot of little things that I recognize that I'm sure Chris is the same way. Like one of my shots, you can see that little, that oil can, that triangle oil can that's on one of the bikes. And that's Andy from Germany. That's his bike.
Right, Andy.
And he was one of my wonderful friends. I got in the habit of giving him a hug every morning, and his wife would always check in with me. Did you give Andy his hug? Say, yes, ma'am, I did. Oh, good.
He's
that's great.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's little things like that. When I look at the videos, I have all these memories that are attached, not just that video that everybody gets to see. It's the memories that I think we all share of the event, which is pretty special to us. So that's why everybody needs to come out and participate. So
yeah, I mean, the camaraderie is like nothing I had ever experienced in my life. I've been riding many years before I did the Cannonball the first time in 2010. And it, like I said, we have family all over the world. Really, Cannonball.
Yes.
So those of you out there thinking about doing the Cannonball, just do it. Just do it. Because
definitely, if you get the opportunity, do not pass it up. It's hard. It could be very expensive if you don't have, you know. But you can also do it on a shoestring. I mean, if you team up with other people and share rooms and stuff, there's a way to do it. If there's a way and you really want to do it, I would just say yes. Just do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So on our social media channels, I see we have Chopper Town, and we want to thank them for bringing our feed into their channel. I want to thank all the social media people who are participating tonight and ask us questions. If you have anything along the way, we'll be glad to. We'll try and check in and keep an eye on it. And Banks Gas Services, thank you for your studio, for letting us use your studio. This is a great thing for us. And all the people up in the upper corner up here, if I can get my hand in the frame.
Nice job.
Check the logo roll. Support our sponsors. They support us. And speaking of our sponsors, we're going to take a little break after I tell you, hit that like and share button. Actually, I'm going to say it the way Jason said. Mash it. Mash that like and share button. Tell all your friends about Motorcycle Cannonball Chronicles. And we'll be back after these important messages.
The devil in my dreams dancing in front of me. For more information on the products listed in this video, click on the link in the description area below. Feel free to call us with any questions or place an order at 800-969-7501. Don't forget to smash that like button, comment, share, and subscribe for all of the latest DK events, videos, and promos.
One of the things I want to show you today is our new improved engine puller.
We put hind joints in the hand to allow rotation of the engine, which makes it easier to get it in and out of the frame. And over here we have what's called the posi lock, which allows this to be locked in place and the engine can't swing from side to side.
George is actually going to come in, make contact with the cylinders, tighten it down, he's going to pull it out of there. It's just that easy. We really feel that we have the tool, the best it's been, where we really feel strong about what it can do in the marketplace. Visit BanksBrothersMotorcycles.com to order your Banks lift.
Awesome product. Awesome product, that Banks lift. Everybody go buy one right now. Go to Banks Brothers and buy one.
Do you have one of those, Rob?
Why, yes, I don't.
Oh, what would Jason say? He'd say, can I get one of those?
Are they giving them away?
It looks like I've seen him. It looks really cool, actually.
On social media, Richard Campbell has the quote of the night. Have you seen it?
Oh, about the pulled pork?
He hasn't eaten pulled pork since the last Cannonball. He said, when we said,
I haven't eaten it either, but I don't eat it anyway.
When we said, go out and join and see what all the fun is about, he said, and you'll get all the pulled pork you can eat.
Yeah, that's why in the Cannonball, I always lose at least 12 pounds because I don't eat the pulled pork. I eat the coleslaw and maybe something else in a granola bar.
Right. So in order to find out more about pulled pork, you'll have to join the Cannonball. And that's all. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And
yes,
I want to give
very true.
I want to give a shout out to Joe Skaggs. Hey, Bubba, how you doing?
Bubba, yeah.
Bubba Skaggs.
I know Bubba Skaggs. I play Words with Friends with him every night.
Yeah. So we have a great group of guests tonight, and we're long overdue. We need to bring them in. So without any further ado, I'd like to introduce our guests and meet the riders.
Hello,
Hey,
Cannonball Nation.
Hey, Cannonball, how are you?
How y'all doing?
We're doing good. How about yourself?
Good. Rebecca, I can't do it justice. Ask them how they all doing.
How are y'all doing?
We're doing good. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Much better now that I get to see your smiling faces. That always helps.
We were just thinking about that pulled pork and how Joe Skaggs ended up with a hamburger because he said he was allergic to salmon, the one place we had salmon. So,
oh God.
And he was wishing they had pulled pork, right?
Probably so.
Probably so. How's everybody tonight?
So why don't
I'm surprised that it's the food that unites us all.
Or yeah, it is the food. That's for sure. We all agree on the food.
That's a riot. So for those of you who don't know, this is George Unruhly and his family. George, why don't you introduce us to your whole team over there?
Okay. From my left is my younger son, Sean, my wife, Kim, and older son, Grant. So
beautiful. So how did you get it?
One at a time when they go to this next year anyway. So one would go part way, and they'll meet in the middle of both of them, and they'll split off, and they'll finish up both of them at the tail end. But they can only take one of them away at a time with their job. So that's how we're gonna have to do it this year. We'll have Blair McPherson running, and Bob Steinbates also, and Kim's gonna be there part of the time.
So tell us about 2018, your crew in 2018.
Well, 2018, I was signed up with Carson Classic Motors, and I left here and went to Texas, met up with them, and then took the trailer and picked up with Don Ellis and Susie, my sister. We went to Portland and started from there. The rest of them flew in or rode in on motorcycle, I guess, too.
Okay, so you had to drive with the Carsons all the way to the start?
Well, sure.
How was that?
Oh, it was all right. We didn't have any tire trouble or anything like that, so it was a good time.
I'm kidding. We love Mike. We used to tease him.
We love to tease Mike. Because why wouldn't you, right?
Yeah, because that's what we do. We tease Mike.
Oh, sure.
Now, George, you said we left here, so tell everybody where here is.
Okay. We live in central Kansas, St. John, Kansas, right out in the middle of the state, about 90 miles north and west of Wichita, halfway between Wichita and Dodge City is probably the easiest way to say it, right on Highway 50. And I just met up with Carson's and other people on Kickstart Classic years ago, 2012, I guess it was, and just started meeting people, and interest kept growing, and just wanted to do it. That's all.
Yeah, that's what happens. Mhm.
So what about the rest of that Kansas crew that you've hooked? Do you stay in touch with those guys? So we have Kelly, who was on with us. We have Terry Richardson, he was on with us, and Pat and Marty Patterson.
Oh yeah.
Pages.
And Bill Page. So yeah, you're I don't know if you're the last of the Kansans, but what can you tell us about that group of guys? And why so many from Kansas?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Oil field related, a lot of it partially for Richardson's and Patterson's. Bill Page just met him with motorcycles, Billy the same way, Kelly also. So you just get in a circle and you just enjoy the people, that's all.
Yeah.
Trade ideas and go from there.
Tell us a little bit about your history with motorcycling and how you got involved.
Okay. Years ago when I was a kid, my oldest brother had a motorcycle, and he would let me ride on the back with him once in a while. It was an old 47 Harley Davidson, and just fell in love with it. And just a little guy, didn't know what else to do. And every time I was always bugging him to try to get to ride with him. So he'd give in after a while, and he'd give me a ride across town, usually after night. It never was in the daytime so much, but just fell in love with it and just kept up with it all the time. That's all.
Nice.
How
did you
Yeah. Okay. Another thing too, my parents, they wouldn't let me have a motorcycle. They would have a motorcycle around the house a little bit, but as far as me having one by myself, they wouldn't allow that because they just had their reasons. But anyhow, once I got away from the house, I just
What'd you buy?
did my own thing. First one I bought was the first motorcycle was a 71 BSA, and I had it for about a year and sold it, and I bought a 73 Super Glide, and I still have it again today. I bought it in 79 or 78 or 79, something like that, and rode the thing for a while and got rid of it due to problems, situations at hand at the time, and bought the thing back. I think it was in 2008, and I still have it today. So that's kind of where the 73 number, when that number came up on the list, I was able to go ahead and buy it.
Wow, that looks great, George.
That was the reason for the number 73 anyway.
Gotta love a shovel head, right? I'm glad you still have it. That's awesome.
That's
cool. Yeah, shovel heads are way to go. I love them. I love them.
And what's your team name is what?
Unruhly 73.
Unruhly.
Yep. Gotta have an
a little play on words there, huh?
We had a friend give us the nickname probably 15 years ago, so it's kind of stuck.
That's great. So how did you first hear about the Cannonball?
Just, I don't know. I can't remember just exactly how I heard about it. I started watching in 2010, I guess, or listening to it through the magazine or reading the magazine. American Iron magazine is where I found out anyway. And just kept up with it from there. In 2012, it just got more interesting all the time. 14, when I met up in Junction City, and then, you know, caught you guys at Junction City, and then again in Burlington. And I just decided sometime I'm going to do this again, or, you know, do this myself. So in 14, I went ahead and bought the 24 that I have now, but it was not going to be eligible for the 16 because they were going to Century bikes. But in 16, I went ahead and helped Carson's and with their Warwick that they built, and had a good time. So I was just hooked after that.
So how did you find your bike is a 24, right? 24 Harley?
Yes.
How did you find that bike? I kind of know the story, but tell everybody about it.
Okay, well, I forget now how it was. It was on Facebook one night, and Buzz posted the thing, and I told
Buzz
him,
Canter.
yeah, Buzz Canter, yes.
Oh,
And
that's where that bike looks familiar. Okay.
we were sitting on the couch watching things, and I told Kim, I said, you know, I'd like to have that motorcycle. And so I got in contact with Buzz, and he was very gracious to. We made a deal, let's put it that way. Made a deal and was able to go ahead, and I picked it up in July, I think it was, at 14 down at Wheels Through Time there in Maggie Valley.
Yeah, beautiful bike.
I had that bike in my shop, by the way.
Yes, you did.
Oh,
the engine
that's
on the
right.
bike was on the bench behind us. So the original engine anyway.
Yeah, Buzz had brought it down for me to get it running before he delivered it to you.
Right.
So it came down, and we just got it running, and then off it went. So
we met up with him at,
you did a lot of work to it after
he
that.
did. We met up with him at the Cannonball, and his brothers, Jim and Bill, drove the pickup and the trailer from Kansas, met up with us at the Kickstart Classic and hauled the bike home for us.
Right. And you named it after your mom.
No,
Tilly,
that's my
right?
grandmother. My grandmother on the under side.
Grandma. Okay, nice.
Now, why is it named Tilly? Is there some significance to the fact that you named it after your grandmother?
Well, just about everything we have has a name, and grandma's name came up because this thing kind of stubborn once in a while, and grandma's a little stubborn too, so just kind of fitting. So, but you know, she taught us a lot, and this damn motorcycle taught me a lot too. Trust me.
Let's go through some of the pictures you sent us, and why don't you tell us a little bit about what we're looking at in these photos?
Okay.
So we can just roll through them randomly, and we'll take a look.
Well, that was the finish line there in Portland, Oregon. So I was probably as surprised to finish as anything. So because she was pretty cantankerous that day, but was able to pull it across the finish line.
We see you have Tilly on the windshield. So
oh yeah.
Usually you could tell he was coming because there was a cloud of smoke. So I just looked for the smoke signals. And that day he neglected to tell me that he and the Kansas guys decided to meet up together and cross the finish line together. So I kept waiting and waiting and waiting. And finally, when the Kansas guys came through, I saw them. So I was relieved.
So Carson's were ahead of us, and those Kansas guys, we rode across together. So
you just couldn't stomach the idea of going across with Carson, huh?
Hey, if it wasn't for Carson's, I probably wouldn't be able to do the Cannonball. So they're good
There you
people.
go.
I remember that day. I wanted to be the last one across that day, so I hung way back. And it was like a slow race between me and I don't know who the other guy was, but I wanted to be the last one. I don't know why. I got the worst parking lot. Remember, Rob? It was on a hill with all the gravel, and I was like, oh God.
Yeah. The final test.
Yeah.
Right?
Up the hill.
Okay, the picture there, the guy on the left on his knees is Blair McPherson. He's going to be probably the second half of on the chase crew also. And the guy on the right with the brown shirt, that's Scott Wolf, a brother-in-law of mine. My son's, what is the relation there?
Yeah, brother-in-law.
Yeah, brother-in-law.
To you,
So, but anyway.
This was a view we saw most of the
guy
time.
passed out on the ground.
Oh, that's me. Yes,
Oh,
that's
oh, no,
me.
you're working on the bike. All right.
The damn
I
battery.
thought maybe too much bourbon in the Carson trailer.
That was later on. That was after that shot there.
Or it was the pulled pork, Rob?
It might have been
Oh,
the
I'll tell you
pork.
what, we had plenty of pulled pork. So anyway, yeah, that was the halfway point there. We stopped, had to get a group picture, or a picture of the bikes anyway. And everybody took off and left, and that's until he decided to act up on their battery hiccup again. So I had to change out the battery before we could go. But Greg Allen was there helping me getting things switched around. He said, "Do you want me to push?" I says, "No, the damn thing probably won't run very long anyway." So we had to change the battery out. So, changed the battery, pulled into pier, and that was it.
Greg Allen is always there when you need him, huh? Greg's been.
Hey, it wasn't a bad thing that afternoon.
Hey, I understand. So you said you had to change a battery out. I understand you had some issues, generator, battery, regulator, things like that. Tell us about that.
Well, I think originally, everything was new when they left, got ready to leave. And the generator was generating, but it wouldn't overcharge. It would run fine as long as it was showing about 6 volt, 5.8, 5.9. But during the day, if I used the horn, played with the horn, I'm not going to say use it, played with the horn or too many brake lights or whatever, it just kept sucking the battery down farther and farther. So there was just a point in time when you get to an intersection or a stop sign or whatever, it just didn't want to stay running. So I had to change the battery out. So I thought it was regulators because, knew the generator's okay. So Kim, she started overnighting batteries to us and everything like that. The very first day I had to stop and put a 6 volt lantern battery in about 2 hours into the run. So it was a struggle, but we made it.
It's a lot of work doing that, changing those batteries out. I know Bill Page was doing it on the last, on the Chase for quite a while.
We had the
Remember that,
battery
Rob?
charger running in the hotel room quite a few nights.
Yeah, I had to overnight a generator to Bill Page in.
That's right. I forgot about that.
On the Chase.
A couple of people had that problem with those. I think Curtis did too. Yeah, man.
It's
It's a lot of work, but you did it. You did it, right?
We did. This next time I'm gonna do a little bit different. So I'm gonna have the thing wired in a little quicker, so I can change things back and forth a little quicker. So.
What are we looking at here, George, on the screen?
What's that now?
What are we looking at on screen here now?
Okay, just painting fenders
and tanks.
And tanks. That was the first time. The original tanks were fine on Tilly, but talking to people, Terry Richards and different people, they say you never want to run the original soldered tanks. So we were at Wasion in 17, I think it was, bought a set of tanks there and just started collecting pieces, and then just got to the point to where it was time to get things going. So I started preparing for paint and doing all that stuff myself, because that's what I like to do too.
So on those new tank, is that from Replicant? Where'd you
Yes,
get
it
that
is.
tank?
Well, they're from Replicant.
Right.
Had one trouble, anyhow, nothing serious. It's just one of those deals, had a bung leak and had to resolder it, but it's
Right.
okay. That was the only time I had trouble.
Was that out on the run on the Cannonball, or was it prior to that?
I just got the tanks painted and was filling them up the first time. I pressure tested. Everything was fine until I went ahead and put the fuel in. Then all at once left the thing overnight, out here in the shop. Came out the next morning, check on the things, admiring their work and everything, and smelled gasoline. I thought, what the heck's going on here? It didn't blister the paint too far, so I was able to salvage that. Sent the tanks back, got it taken care of, and came back and spotted it in, and off we went. Fitted the line a little bit better in case, I might have had a little force on the bung. I don't know, but pretty picky, but I guess it wasn't quite picky enough.
Yeah, you supplied us with some videos, and then maybe Chris can pull something up after you describe what's going on in this picture. We'll roll one of the videos that you sent.
George's sister Susie from Louisiana, she and I rode in a car. We kind of chased behind, but she's a very good seamstress. She made George's suit that he wore, custom made it. And were these your saddlebags?
Yeah.
I think his saddlebags came unstitched. So she was restitching them with using pliers and I don't know what all materials she used. With wire. She helped fix some chaps. She helped fix some jackets. So she's pretty handy to have along.
I would say that's amazing. Wow.
Scott Bird wants to know if you just quoted TR.
On what?
I have no idea. I just noticed.
I
that
have
Scott
no
Bird said-
idea. That's right.
Did you quote TR? That would be Terry Richardson.
No way.
But
No
we
way,
love
not tonight,
Terry.
Did you
Terry's
really
told us one and done on the Cannonball Chronicles.
He did a
I
good
have to
job.
say, we're getting these comments about your generator show that you did on Sunday, Rob. I think a lot of people maybe don't know about that show you did for Shop Talk.
You did a good job. Very appreciated.
Well, yeah, well, they can go back and watch that on YouTube on Shop Talk from Sunday night. George, let's take a look at your video if we can here.
Nice, Eddie.
This was during one of the test rides. I don't think there was even a front fender on there yet at that point.
Got the cornfields in the background.
Yep. Probably run along.
Well, you guys have corn down there?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of corn. Corn, wheat, soybeans, cotton.
Got some cotton. Got quite a bit of cotton. More cotton all the time, seems like. So
Hard to do very many test runs on any sort of elevation, so we did a lot of flatland runs.
I saw George was out riding in, was it December or January? You were just riding. So I saw on your Facebook. It looked a little
yeah, I had
cold.
the 45 out there, just being an idiot. That's normal for me anyway.
Happens a
Snow
lot.
plowing, were you?
Gotta have fun. Gotta have people say, what the heck is he doing anyway? So
Right. I want to ask you a
Half time,
question
I
if I
don't know.
can of your sons. Do you guys ride too? Are you interested at all in riding and stuff?
Well, I like to ride. I don't take the time too much, but we do on a motorcycle, yes.
Great.
Grant's got a motorcycle. Sean doesn't yet. He's still building the family.
Yeah,
So-
still got kids coming, so.
But whenever they come down here, they find a motorcycle to ride, get the sidecar up, put the grandkids in. It's a good time.
Right. How about you, Kim? I want to see you out there sometime.
Well, I do. I have started with a Sportster, had a Softail Road King, have a Tri-Glide now, had some shoulder issues, so have that. So it's pretty fun. I want to learn
Awesome.
how to ride the tank shift though, but I need to start on something that won't matter as much if I tip it over.
Do it. You can do it.
Yeah, find a different bike then.
Boys can do it. You can-
45.
We're going to have to buy a different bike, I was told.
Oh, I heard some trouble there. Oh.
So-
Good excuse.
Let me ask, so were the boys on the 2018 crew, did you say?
Well, they weren't on the crew, so to speak. They met up at Pierre, South Dakota. I was surprised because they were going to come up at Sturgis and spend a couple nights there, but they came in a day ahead of time, which surprised me. So it was a good time. We had a great time. And I think they had a good time too.
Do you boys have a favorite memory of something you saw during the Cannonball, or how excited were you to see your dad riding the bikes? What can you tell us?
Your turn.
Well, I mean, we're not always excited to see the old man, but you know how it goes though. So no, when we showed up, just seeing the look on his face, we said, "Hey, you need some help?" He looked up and he was changing tires and whatnot, and it just kind of one of those deals that kind of sticks in your head then.
He was very relieved. You could tell a huge difference in his not personality, his stress level and his level of enjoyment increased tremendously when they showed up, when Blair showed up. It just made it a whole different race, made him relax quite a bit. He was just very happy. I was happy they were there because I don't know how to change a tire, and that was going to be part of my task for that night.
Uh-oh. Yeah. So what are you going to ride in 2021?
Going to ride the same one again.
Ride till
Like I said, I've
again?
got a new engine in it, new generator, Everything's been going through front to back again. Like I said, there hadn't been a bolt not touched, rivets tightened up, this and that, whatever else. So
nice.
with that,
New paint.
yeah, new paint on the fender too. The rear fender, it cracked down around the rear fender brace. So went ahead and well, that's a long story too.
Well, it sounds like you're ready. Sounds like you're probably more ready than most people because you've been out riding.
Yeah, when the fender cracked out, I went ahead and pulled it off, and it was just going to spot paint it in because the rest of the paint was in good shape. So I was going to spot paint it in. Well, that didn't work out because everything worked real good until we got ready to shoot the clear over the top of the green and the stripe area, but the darn green paint wasn't set up. I don't know what happened there, but I did something wrong. So I bought heat lamps, tried to cook it. It didn't want to work out. So I got aggravated and blasted it off and started from scratch again. So that's what that fender painting was there. So,
so what happened with your front brake? Did you have an issue with your brake?
Oh boy.
Uh-oh, did I ask a bad question?
No.
It was a little sensitive.
Oh.
I don't remember where we were at. I think in Iowa or Ohio, I guess it was, pulling into Buffalo Wild Wings that night. Buck and I were coming in a little bit late and we were pushing it pretty hard just so we weren't going to be late. And I think I might have bottomed out going through a little bit of a curb there or something like that. And it bent the stay rod on the brake. And when I hit clamp down on the front brake, because the back brakes are not very good anyway, clamp down on the front brake, and about that time the cable went whizzing by my helmet and everything like that. What the heck is going on here? And
oops.
It got pretty exciting pretty quick. So it was all good.
He pulled in and he said, well, I think we're finished. I think we're out. And I said, what do you mean? He goes, well, we don't have a brake. And I said, well, we need to find one. So I started talking to strangers that looked like they might know something about old bikes. And lo and behold, Big Ed and some other people that I've met found a guy that was actually in Buffalo Wild Wings. He picked up George in his car, took him out to an old shed, dug in a corner of some parts, and found the brake hub we needed. So
oh my God.
Back on the road again.
Yeah.
Yep.
Excellent.
Awesome, girl.
She's a good parts runner.
That's
She can find people. So got
but that's a Cannonball. You know, you could be out somewhere, you don't, you know, like, hey, I need something. Somebody comes out from his garage, you know. Hey,
Yep.
come on. I mean, people have gone, I've gone into people's garages and their barns, and people have helped us with digging through their own parts and making stuff, and that's just how it works, right?
Well, you know, speaking of tires, Chris, George is the one who helped us out. Remember the tire incident, Chris, in Iowa?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
George is the one who helped us out when we needed to change the tire on Effie.
Okay, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, George, and he also helped us out in New Hampshire in Keene. We needed something done on the lathe, and George was gracious enough to work with us on the lathe in Keene.
Oh,
That
that's
was
right.
Keene. I forgot about that. That was on the rear stand on Pat's bike, I think it was. Had to make a couple quick bushings there to at least take some of the rattle out of it. But
That's right. Well, thank
use
you. See, I
Carson's.
never got to thank you. No.
hey, there's a lot going on. You don't have time to do everything.
And well, you know, you're tired, you're exhausted, you don't know what day it is, you don't know where you're going, you don't know where you've been, and you just want to get there, you're right.
That's right. But anyway, I had got that front brake shoe assembly there, and the hole was too small in it, so I had to chuck it up and lathe in Carson's trailer, bored the hole out so it was big enough, and I got it just. It wasn't too terrible big, but it's just enough big that I missed it by a couple thousandths or more than I wanted anyway. So every time I'd hit the brake, it would go to chattering. But I made it the rest of the race. It's no big deal. So I got another hub on it now, so it's in good shape. But I'm going to take take the first hub that I bored last year or 2 years ago, take it with me again, just in case something happens again. You never know.
Now,
See,
did
if
you
have
say
it, you won't need it?
Did you say it would go to chattering?
Oh yeah. Well, you know,
I got it. I got that.
It's a little bit loose. You know, when you're boring stuff out and you're not paying attention, or you think you are, but then all once, oh shit, I shouldn't have done that. But I did. It's too late now. We're on the way. So just make do with it.
That's right.
Nice.
You know, it's amazing how much you learn on the Cannonball, and you learn for the next. So next time you'll be more prepared, and then you know your bike will be better, you'll be more prepared. You know what to expect, right?
Well,
And,
you never know. It's a new experience every day.
right.
Next
that's
time,
right.
his goal is to have more fun.
Yeah, I'll
and
try
not
to have
be
more
so
fun next time.
Not be as stressed as he was this time. So his goal is to enjoy things more and have a lot more fun.
Meet more people instead of
Good for
spend so
you.
much time worrying about stuff.
Our notes tell us that you guys have a special way of economizing.
Oh,
on
we
the
do.
Cannonball.
We are the Econoline Cannonballers, is what I like to call us. We got a lot of quality bonding time. George's sister Susie and her husband Donnie were along with us, so we stayed in a room together. And then Blair joined us in Sturgis, so we ended up with 5 people in a room. And then my daughter stayed with us in Sturgis, so we had 6 for a little while. So we got a lot of quality family bonding time, had a good shower schedule, got to know each other really well.
And you get in the room and you claim your towel, right?
Yes.
I've been there.
Mine.
That's my towel. Don't use it.
Yeah. Blair's job was to get an extra pillow and blanket before he came to the room every night because he was the one on the mattress.
Wow, good for you guys. That's fun. You know, it really is.
Well, that's the other thing. It just kind of shows, like you said, you don't have to go all out. You can have fun, have a good time, and still get to experience the Cannonball.
That's right. That's right. If there's a will, there's a way. That's what I say. If you really want to do it, you make it, you find it, and you make it happen. And there's people out there that will help you. Since we started doing these shows, there's people that want to ride, they hear about it and they don't have a bike, and people will step up and say, hey, I know somebody has a bike that maybe you could ride. And I mean, it kind of happens that way sometimes. So you just go with it, right?
I know it happened for Jody, right? Isn't that what she said last night?
Yeah, Jody needed to have a bike for the, and then I think she's riding Doug Feinsatz's bike.
Right.
Next fall, the 12th, that she's
Right.
going to ride. So, yeah, I mean, maybe it's easier if you're a girl, but I don't know. I mean, guys, it happens to everybody, So we got to get Chris Callan out there. That's one thing we got to
yeah, buddy.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, buddy.
Look at him.
I look great in almost any manufacturer's jersey. I'm just going to say I have a nice broad display here that I can put a team name on. I'm ready to go. I'm just saying.
Hey, we know people. We can get you in there. Jason.
That's right.
Jason, are you watching, Jason?
Jason's watching.
Jason.
Yeah. Awesome.
George, tell us about carburetor trouble. I have a note here. Something about carburetor trouble.
Well, you start off with a new carburetor when you leave Kansas, and everything's running real good when you leave here. You get the thing to Portland, Maine, and it's not running quite so good. It's a struggle. It runs, but it's not where you're happy with it. You don't know what to do, so you just make do with it, and you ride all the way across to, I guess, Sturgis. We changed the carburetor there.
Wow.
And all this was just, everything was going, called carburetor Mike. He sent a carburetor overnight. So put the carburetor on. It did okay. And it wasn't his fault. I just didn't know how to get things tuned, for the mountains or hill country, whatever you want to call it. And did okay there for a day or so, and then got in, I don't know where we were at when I changed it again. John Newman gave me a carburetor to switch out again, and everything's running pretty good. It's a little hard starting in the morning, got it running, but about 10 miles down the road to the starting line, it just started getting bogged down, and thought, oh shit, I'm gonna melt this thing down. So I pulled over to the side of the road, and on my telephone, I've got a deal where Kim can kind of keep track of me. And, if I'm moving or if I'm on the side of the road or whatever. So I text her, says, I'm on the side of the road. I think I'm done or whatever. But
He said, I'm dead on the side
dead
of the
on
road.
the side of the road. That's what it was.
And that's the only comment I heard from him all day. So I spent the rest of the day wondering.
She didn't know what was going on. And like I said, I let the thing cool down. I called Mike, and he gave me a bench setting to start with, and darn thing started up and run pretty good. And I was dead last that way, or at that time for quite a while. And it was so darn relaxing. I wasn't worried about anything or anybody. pretty soon started catching up with people. Well, that's not so bad, you know. This is still pretty relaxing. Got in there the next night, and I don't know, the rest of the way was pretty good for the most part. After we got, but it was smoking real bad. It was using more oil. So got done with the race and everything like that. And I wasn't going to do it again, but the boys talked me into it. Kim said you might as well. So
there's no pressure when you're dead last.
No pressure when you're dead last. But anyway, John went through the engine again for me. So we're up and running, ready for next year again. John Newman anyway. So he's a great guy to work with.
So did you finish with a perfect score?
Got all the miles in.
What? Wow, I'm so impressed. That's awesome.
So
wow, good for you.
It was a good time.
Yeah, it sounds like you were up against it and you beat the odds.
Wow.
Well, I didn't know what to do. You know, I don't know.
He did his prior proper planning prevents piss poor performance.
7 Ps.
Yes. So he was very, I think, prepared and tried to anticipate things that could go wrong and fabricated extra parts and tried to have everything he needed. So he thought it through really well.
And the thing that he really needed was his secret weapon, Kim.
Exactly.
I have to give
right.
Kim kudos there. Okay.
Yeah, but now I have to ask Kim a question. Kim,
yes.
When you didn't hear from George, did George learn his lesson after that he needs to get back to you and let you know what's going on?
No. It was really kind of, I mean, now that I look back, it made it a lot more exciting for me because I never heard from him. I think that was the one time I heard from him during the day. I'd send him off and then I'd go to the end, to the finish line. And it was kind of exciting just to see if he was going to make it, when he was going to make it. So we didn't communicate when he was out on the road. Just when he said he was dead on the road that day, I texted Grant and Sean and let them know. And we thought it was over. So it was a really relief to see him come in that day because he'd worked so hard and I wanted him to finish up. He had to have a little come to Jesus meeting with me that day, I think, because I told him that he was listening to too many other people and doubting himself, and he knew his bike better than anybody, so he could.
That happens, right, Chris?
Start second guessing yourself.
Listening to too many other people.
Well, you know, here's another thing too. You know, when I'm on the road, I did the chase without, you know, my husband, and I didn't even see my husband for a whole month of September whenever that was, 2019. But no news is good news, okay? And I got in trouble and I got yelled at. He's probably watching from the other room. But I didn't call in a lot during the day because I was, as you know, you're busy riding. And, you know, if I didn't call him right when I got in, he would just say, I didn't call me right. I'm like, well, I had to get the bike and go to the bathroom, get drink water, you know. Then people come and talk to you, and then maybe another 10 minutes goes by. But hey, you know, stuff happens, right? But yeah.
And then the next thing you know, it's dinner time. You missed dinner, and you're going to bed, right?
No, I called him. Well, I wish you nothing but good luck in 2021. I think the pressure's off of you now because you got your perfect score. So you just have fun out there and enjoy it. Look around, smell the roses, you know, and every minute.
I wasn't even at it to get the perfect score anyway. I just wanted to go do it. That's all. So I did it, and I want to go do it again.
So
next time again after this, I don't know.
Now that you've done the Cannonball Chronicles, are you still nervous about being on TV?
Sure. I don't like this.
You guys did great. You guys are wonderful.
You guys did great. You were great. And we really appreciate you being here with us tonight and sharing the stories. And hopefully we get a chance to check back in with you before the Cannonball goes off. So thank you guys. Thanks, Kim. Thanks, boys. We appreciate it. George, I can't wait to see you again. It's been too long. And hopefully we get a chance to see each other soon.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Bye, you guys. Take care.
Bye. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Whoops. Right on. Take care.
Well, that was fun.
That was awesome. What a great family. I just was picturing them all in that room. I'm thinking, who's sleeping on the floor? Who's sleeping where?
Right. I like the way they've got it set up, like they're at the dinner table there, you know. It was really neat.
Yeah.
really cool stuff.
Yeah.
Great
Yeah.
family. You know, that's what it is. It's families that do this together too. It's just so cool, you know.
It really, we've seen a lot of people do it as a family.
Mhm.
And it's, you know, Steve and Joan DeCosa, right? You got Joan, the crew chief, right?
And then their daughter come along. Their daughter too. is there,
Yeah. Yeah.
right.
Mhm.
Right, Rebecca? I mean, Rebecca,
Yes.
you've been on so many of these. I mean,
Yes, yes, the DeCosas, they have twin daughters, so one of their daughters is part of the crew now, and
Right.
she's awesome too. Of course, she's a DeCosa. How can you not be awesome,
Yeah, I mean, the
right?
whole family.
right. And then Bill Redensel and his girls, right?
Yes, that was such a special. You know, that's another one of those videos I need to edit and put together and put out here for you guys, because I've got some special footage of them working on the bike with him. That's pretty cool.
Those two, you know, they were in the 2010 Cannonball, and they were just little girls, and Willa was just a tiny little girl, and they would come and help us work on Effie. And the last night before the finish, they really spent a lot of time with us.
Oh, that's so cool.
They were like, we're going to ride a Cannonball one day, and one day we're going to be motor maids. And they were just
that's
now
so
they're
cool.
like now college graduates. I think Cassidy got her license. I think she got her motorcycle license. I think. I'm not sure.
So I think.
And they were
sounds
Bill's
right.
crew in 2016, right? If I'm not
Yes, they
mistaken?
were. They were his crew in 2016, and he rode that board track racer where he was bent over. Oh my God, I could look at him and feel pain. So I don't know how he did it all the way across the country.
Right.
Yep.
But yeah, the girls were the crew. They drove the van across, and they helped him work on the bike every night, and just really soldiered it through it all.
Sure did. They had everything ready when he came in. They were like driving the van. Yeah, that was amazing. Again, you know, if anybody, you know, bring your family, come along. It's a family event. It really is.
It is.
You
It
know,
is.
and
More than
everybody's
people realize.
Yeah, and you know, everybody says it and they think, yeah, okay, yeah, it's a family, but it really is. I mean, you know, I think we have lifelong friends after doing this, you know, relationships that just they go on. And when you see each other again, I mean, even a lot of people go to Las Vegas for the Meekum auction, right?
I know.
And there's a whole Cannonball group, and everybody gets together and has a good time and hang out, and it's like, oh, I can't wait to see you again. And it's just it's almost like it's too long between events, right?
Yeah, I was just thinking about Las Vegas because we usually that's where we gather. I mean, Lonnie used to come. It was our Cannonball reunion that we would do every year, every winter. So hopefully, I think it's coming up in April. I'm not sure what's going to happen with it in April, but some people will probably show up. I'm sure.
I'm sure, and that's, you know, that it always seemed to be a place where people would go to look for a bike for the Cannonball when they put their papers in to join but don't have a bike. And that's kind of a neat frenzy to watch them go. I got to get that bike. I got to get that bike. Like Mike Butts was with us, I think, last week, and he bought the bike at Meekum in January for September, and it had to be completely redone.
Yeah, it's kind of the Cannonball hunting ground for some people, for sure.
And when this COVID thing is over, hopefully we'll be able to get out of this, you know, out of our homes and go to these people's houses or places or work and whatever, and really get to meet them for real, person to person.
That would be great.
That's the hope here. But
and I think you guys should go along on the Cannonball. I mean,
well, I think there's
I'll volunteer.
There's talk about maybe doing that. So we're trying to work those logistics out. But I want to, at this point, I want to thank everybody who tuned in tonight. I want to wish Jason well. Buddy, we miss you. I hope you're back next week. You're feeling better, and we can do another great show. But thanks, Chris. Rebecca, as always, thank you very much.
Thank you.
A lot of fun tonight. Social media people, I want to say hi to Poppy, Steve Broyles, and all you other people. And hey, Bubba, thanks for tuning in tonight.
And thank you to Cyclosource Media Group, our sponsors, Station ID,
Yeah.
and watch Coast to Coast on Tuesday nights. Shop Talk coming up on Sunday.
Sunday
9
night.
p.m.
Who do you have on Shop Talk Sunday night? Are they going to board Heather to death, Chris, or what? Like we did last Sunday.
No, listen, that was an outstanding show. It really was. It was very technical, but you know, I mean, that's what we do. We're bike guys. We hang out in the garage. The name of the damn show is Shop Talk. You know it's going to get to that. So it was a great show. If anybody missed it, go to Cycle Source to the YouTube page. Check it out, because Mr. Nussbaum here like took us to school. We went to Generator 101 on Sunday night. It was awesome.
Hey, so I told you that I had a conversation the day prior with my generator guru for like over an hour, to which Mark said I needed to get a life, right? So I get a phone call the next morning and he says, you know, you said one of the poles was positive and the other one was negative. And what you should have said was it's north and south.
Oh.
And so I've already been corrected and reschooled.
See, in this political climate, Rob, you never know what the right word to say is. It's just, you know.
Especially when it comes to north and south, right?
Or positive and negative. I mean, this is not outcomes-based motorcycle mechanics.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. So we got into it a little bit. It was pretty neat. But anyways, Chris, who's on with you Sunday night?
We might actually have a special guest come on. The gentleman they call Happy from Hairball. We're coming into Daytona, so we're all getting amped up for the events, and we're going to be talking a lot about event stuff. But at the last minute, we got a chance that we might actually get to talk to Happy and talk about how Hairball came to be, because if you have not seen that band out at a motorcycle rally, they are incredible. Like, you really feel they go through all these different bands, you know, like Judas Priest and Guns N' Roses, and you would swear to God you were at those individual concerts every time they change singers. And it's it's killer. It's killer entertainment. They're fantastic.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice. So everybody,
they bring so much energy to the stage. You cannot stand still. You just can't.
and tell us what's been going on with Source Media a little bit, Chris, and then we'll get out of here. But Source Media brings us what?
Oh, it almost brings me to the brink of divorce all the time. I want to thank my wife for putting up with all my crazy shit, but seriously, you know, it's been great, because 25 years Cycle Source magazine has been published every 30 days until COVID hit. We had already at that time been producing Shop Talk for 4 years, and very fast we had to switch gears and, you know, keep up with everything that was going on. We launched a number of programs, and, you know, among them obviously is Cannonball Chronicles, the Coast to Coast show. We do another show called the Cyber Swap, which is wildly popular, and we're getting ready to bring it back. We do Grease and Gears Garage. So it's a ton of this kind of programming, and, you know, it taught us a bunch, and it took us into the new age of media, and we're super grateful for it. So I just appreciate everybody tuning in.
All right. And so with that, I'd like to say thanks to everybody who tuned in tonight. Thanks, Chris, for doing a great job engineering for us. These two ladies right here, unbelievable. Thank you for stepping in, Chris. I appreciate it. Rebecca, as always, terrific job.
Anytime. Thank you. Sorry, my phone just went off. I thought I turned the ringer off.
Okay.
So professional. But thank you, guys.
It's great to be back. See y'all next week.
Hey, Jason. Hey, Cannonball Nation. We'll see you next week.
Get well, Jason. See you next week. Bye, guys.